Now, just one episode ago, you was begging Victor to be your friend again. Now you disrespecting his dead mama when all he's trying to do is comfort you. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I will be recapping episode 9 of the series From. We are nearing the end. And I've had a love-hate relationship with this series, but I actually really enjoyed this episode. We start off the episode in the house that Reggie stays in with his girlfriend or wife. I'm not clear, or either I don't remember, but I want to say that this is the same house Sarah lived in with her brother, and that these are the same two people that was acting crazy when she came in looking for her stuff. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think that is who these people are. They are two people from the bus. And remember the way last episode ended? Reggie came out the house screaming for help. So Boyd and Kenny go inside and we find the woman completely mutilated. And of course, Boyd and Kenny, are kind of confused, trying to get details. And I found how hysterical Reggie was throughout the episode. So comical. And of course, it was not meant to be comical, but I feel like it was such bad acting, and he was just, it was funny to me. So he's trying to tell them about what happened, that she said she was going to go take a nap. He heard her screaming. He came in and he's telling them what happened. And Boyd is like, are you sure she was asleep? Was she still asleep? Yeah, she was asleep. Like, he was really hysterical. And he's like, breaking down, and Boyd is like, what was she saying? You said she was saying something. And he's just, Boyd is like, Reggie, I need you to tell me, what did she say? And we start to get this running thread, this running theme throughout this episode, which is this nursery rhyme, right? And when we first hear it, we don't know it's a nursery rhyme. Reggie tells Boyd that she has said they touch, they break, they steal, no one here is free. That's all he could remember. And then she was like, ripped apart. Now, Boyd ends up enlisting Julie because when they step outside, we have a lot of onlookers, because obviously old boy came in the house screaming and yelling. People, could hear. And amongst the onlookers are Kenny's mom, Julie, and Ethan. So Boyd comes over, enlists Julie's help. He tells Julie and Kenny, we need to alert the town. It's 30 minutes until the sun goes down and no one can sleep. Now, remember, we did get some info already about the new Nightmare on Elm Street theme of the series with Elgin, and I feel like I'm forgetting someone. I feel like it wasn't just Elgin. I feel like Kenny. Kenny got burned in his dream and woke up and had a mark on him. So between the dream situation with Kenny and Elgin, we already felt like nobody should sleep alone. But now that someone has been killed, it's pretty much nobody can sleep until we can figure out what the heck is going on. So he enlists Julie and Kenny so we can go door to door and alert the town. And Boyd is planning to take Reggie to Colony House and at the same time alert them. But of course, Kenny is like, okay, well, what about Sarah? And then, of course, Julie says, well, what about my dad? My dad, he's out at the RV. Now, the way last episode ended with Donna tied to that tree and Jim out there in the woods with her and Randall, I already felt like, okay, how are they going to write this where somebody just pops up to save the day? Because obviously we know that Jim not winning no one-on-one between Jim not losing a one-on-one between Jim and Randall. So this is how they set it up for Boyd to come in and save Donna. Now, Jim, of course, pulls up because we continue the scene from last episode when Jim is first pulling up and finds them. And Jim is just like, what the fuck is going on? And Randall is going on about, I saw you by the clinic. I saw you. What are the monsters? Are they animatronics? Something got a glitch. And Donna is just saying like, you dumb idiot. That was a body. Boyd killed one of them. And of course, Randall is just like, oh, of course, how convenient. Y'all suddenly changing the rules. And of course, this is not what Jim had in mind. And he goes to try to untie Donna, and Randall gets upset, right? And Randall starts to feel like, okay, you know, how do I know you're not in on the Jim? And Jim is just pretty much like, are you stupid? My house collapsed on top of me. Like, but this is not the plan. And Randall is pretty much feeling like Donna is in on this. She's, you know, part of the reason why we cannot leave here. And I feel like if I was Donna, I'd just be saying like, you, like, we need another word for dumb. Like, this is it's really just beyond. Like, he has gone so insane with this. And even to the point of saying that Donna is part of the reason why we here. So, of course, in his heightened paranoia with Jim already putting his seed in his head, Randall starts to say, you know, how do I know you're not in on this? How do I know you didn't plant this in my head to see how I would react? And you know what I started thinking about? I started thinking about that movie Inception, about how you can plant a seed, plant an idea in somebody's mind to the point that it like drives them to madness. That is pretty much what has happened with this Jim Randall situation. And I'm very shocked that a character that is supposedly as intelligent as they try to, you know, make it seem like Jim is, that it took for stuff to get this severe for him to be like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Like, all the stuff he has seen already, even like what he saw in that church with Randall and Sarah, it took this for you to be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you should have been like that. So they don't even really get into a tussle, because I think a tussle takes two. Randall just pushes Jim and pulls out his knife. And that's when Boyd shows up, shoots like a warning shot in the air, gets Randall to drop his gun, and has Jim, you know, cut Donna down. I forgot her name for like a split second, but cut Donna off the tree. And of course, it is literally about to be dark, and I was literally watching like, if they don't just mother freaking kill Randall already, like, please. So Boyd trying to figure out where are the keys to Donna's van. And Randall, dumbass, this cuckoo clock, takes the keys. And, oh, you mean these keys? And just chucks them. Like, you, oh my God. Like, are you kidding me? So he pretty much is just like, oh, well, I guess we're going to have to just see what happens, you know, for the night. We're going to just stay the night out here, see, roll the dice. It's going to be, let's just see what happens. And we then see Julie, Tabitha, Jade, Victor, and Kenny's mom at the house. Victor, you know, comes with Jade, who was like, Victor's talking about we can't sleep. Like, what is going on? And Jade and Tabitha end up in the kitchen, where Tabitha is showing him all the drawings that she discovered with Victor in the trunk of that car, and kind of filling him in on how Victor had a sister and everything they learned. And Jade being like, how can you forget you have a sister? Like, how do you forget something like that? And I'm just saying, like, that should tell you the, like, magnitude of how, like, traumatized this man is, that he literally blocked out such chunks that are just so painful that he blocked out having a freaking sister. Now, we then see Kenny and Sarah at the sheriff's station, and Lord, y'all already know Kenny already been like starting to be an annoying character, but he was literally giving me just the attitude and demeanor of like a bratty teenager in this scene, like soaking as if his parents told him he couldn't go to the, you know, the freaking movies with his friends that weekend. Like, he's sitting in the chair, he not looking at Sarah, he kind of soaking, and of course Sarah is being Sarah and being very meek and just trying to be kind and trying to walk on eggshells. And she's just like, she's pretty much just like, thank you for doing this. I know you don't want to be here. And of course, Mr. Grouch is just like, I ain't doing this for you. And of course, Sarah's just like, well, you know, like all the same, like she's just trying to say thank you and she's trying to make little small talk. Sarah then goes into how things feel wrong here now. And that kind of made me be like, what? Like stuff should have been felt wrong. But she's like, things feel wrong here now. And like things feel different now. And that when she was out in the forest with Boyd, she started to feel that, and that Boyd said, this place feeds on our pain. But Sarah's like, what if it does more than that? And that's when Kenny is just like, what do you mean? And Sarah goes into this story about how Nathan used to be scared of cicadas. Y'all remember the last episode when I was like, what's some things that make that noise? It's those grasshoppers. They're cicadas, okay? I learned something this episode. But Nathan was scared of cicadas, and he literally was scared to where he feared them as if they were monsters. And Sarah starts to theorize that what if that's his nightmare out there? What if the people who die in this place, nightmares, end up making the forest? Which could explain like the giant spider, because I mean, who don't have a fear of motherfucking spiders? And just the random stuff they saw out there. But I mean, that's a good theory and could explain some stuff, but that's Sarah's little theory for right now, because she's like, oh, now things are feeling wrong. And I find it very odd that this place hasn't been talking to Sarah no more. Like, they was talking to her to kill Kenny's dad and the guy that came with Jade and the nurse that was taking care of Kenny's dad. They were talking to her to kill Ethan. She does not even succeed in that mission. And it's like this place just forgot all about that. Why? The place was literally burning something into her arm trying to get her to kill Ethan. So why has this place just suddenly just like, all right, nah, never mind. Like, I would think if the mission is like the Terminator trying to kill John Connor. Like, just because one Terminator fails, that don't mean we just give up the mission of killing John Connor. So if this place was so gung-ho to burn her arm and be whispering little sweet nothings in her ear to kill Ethan or to kill certain people so they can get home, because that's why she killed Kenny's dad, because this place told her that's how they can go home. And before she goes to try to kill Ethan, she asks Christy, like, would you do anything to get home? She was thinking that killing Ethan would get them home. So why now all of a sudden is that just not happening? It's just done. This place is insane. And like, from what they've shown us in the show, this place isn't communicating with Sarah anymore. And I found that really odd. Now, we end up seeing Reggie back at Colony House trying to deliver the message to the folks child about sleeping, but I'm sure seeing her like, baby, you delivering this message all wrong. And he's trying to figure out what Donna is. And Tabitha was saying, not Tabitha, Fatima. Fatima is there with him as well as Christy and her fiance, because remember when we went to burn the body of that monster, we sent them off the Colony House because we said nobody should sleep alone or be alone. And Christy goes to tell them, like, Donna left the clinic hours ago. And Fatima is like, okay, well, where was she headed? And Christy is like, well, she was supposed to be coming here. But obviously in this little town, it don't take hours for her to get from the clinic to Colony House. So obviously, that click for them that something is wrong. And the bus driver was annoying me this episode because Reggie lets them know that the instruction right now is nobody could sleep. And the bus driver's like, well, how long? Girl, you know what they know. Like, you know the same information they know. What do you mean, how long? And who cares how long? Like, girl, just stay awake. We trying to tell you that it ain't safe. But she was irking my nerves. Now, they cut back to the RV where we have Donna, Randall, Jim, and Boyd. And they are trying to figure out, they put the talisman up in the window so we could be safe in the RV. And Randall is still on his whole thing he on. And he's just like, Jim, why are you falling for this? Can't you see like what's going on? We finally have them by the balls, and that's when the sheriff show up. And I'm saying, like, you ain't have nobody by the nothing. Like, what are you even talking about? You ain't find out nothing. You ain't do nothing. You like He just was, I literally was just watching like, please kill him. I just want him to die. And then that's when he goes into like going off on Jim, like, oh no wonder your family is a mess. And Jim gets mad and kind of get in his face. And Randall just like, what? And I'm just like, oh my God, please, I need you to die a terrible, horrible, gruesome death. Now, Boyd breaks them up, but Boyd is also upset with Jim, and he's like, all the stuff you've been through here, and you still think this a game? And Randall and Jim have a lot in common. Jim just ain't as unhinged, but it's like, y'all have like a block. You cannot accept that what you are seeing right in front of your face is actually real. Y'all have to convince yourself that it's not. And that's how they ended up in this mess. And if Donna would have been killed, or Boyd, or anybody out here would have been killed, that would have been all on Jim. Now, Randall bucking up, getting the attitude, and I was mad nobody punched him in his face. Like, seriously, this is the type of person that you like, you know what, you ain't never been smacked in your mouth, have you? Like, you just need to learn how to shut the hell up. Like, one good little smack one time. But Boyd ends up handcuffing him, telling him, like, sit the hell down, shut up. And Donna... I love Donna. Donna ends up saying to Jim, like, you led a pig to shit and you get, surprised when he makes a mess. Now, of course, Randall get an attitude, tell her F you, and they end up where Boyd is telling Randall, like, I lost my wife here. I had my friend bleed to death in my arms, and you think I'm lying to you? Like, this is not some big conspiracy. This is not some animatronics and this is fake. Like, I just don't understand how you cannot see how they reacted in that diner when you tried to put a gun to Kenny's head and she was like, well, you're going to just kill him. And they was not opening that door. Something should tell you that these folks is scared and serious about what is happening here. Now, Boyd ends up getting upset, like, you know what, you want proof? How about I tie you to the tree out there and let you find out for yourself? And I was just saying, like, you know what, that is the brightest idea y'all have had in a long time. Go ahead and just tie him up out there, please. Now, we end up cutting back to Christy and her fiance at Colony House. And Christy, of course, her fiance is going through withdrawals. She asks Ellis if there's like a private room they can have, and he takes them to the room where like the new people be at. So like the windows are boarded up and it's like straps on the bed in case you have to strap somebody down, because people don't be accepting the reality of what's happening. Cough, cough, Jim and Randall. So when people first get here, sometimes we might have to strap them down because it is just so hard for them to understand the gravity of what's happening. Now, this annoyed me. We already discovered about the dream and stuff before everybody else when we was at the clinic. We not supposed to leave nobody alone, but Christy kept leaving her damn fiance in that room by herself. Not just we not supposed to leave nobody alone, but she going through withdrawals. Like, this was really pissing me off. But she leaves her fiance alone so she can go get supplies or whatever. And I'm like, baby, before y'all walked upstairs to the room, you with the fiance in front of everybody, you should have just got the supplies then instead of leaving her in the room by herself. But can I just say, I hate Christy and her fiance's hair so much, I cannot even deal. Like, I cannot even stand to look at them. Christy's hair was just fine. I do not know why they had to write it in for her fiance to give her a haircut. What was the point of that? Oh, it was so annoying. But we end up seeing Ellis and Christy, and Ellis is having a conversation with Christy because he's worried about the fact that Fatima is pregnant. And he's like, okay, what about this whole no sleeping thing? Because isn't that what babies do? But Christy tried to just let him know it's too early for all that. She only like a few weeks. And he's telling her how, he's pretty much worried and think about what if the baby just claws its way out of Fatima. And honestly, y'all, I was a little spaced in this scene. Christy was giving some lackluster speech about pregnancy is weird no matter like where we are, we're just used to it. And when she was in med school, they used to have this saying about what was it? Something burning on fire, referring to the sun, and it keeps us warm. Like basically just trying to like comfort him. Like it's a lot of weird stuff that happens and we're just used to it. So we don't really pay it no mind. But like pregnancy is one of those weird things, but it'll be fine. It was like the worst pep talk that I done heard. But then we end up, oh yeah, I forgot to say, when we cut to Jade and Tabitha and she was explaining to him everything with Victor, she also explained to him that Victor told her that his mother told him that rescuing the kids in the tower was how they go home. And remember, if I'm not mistaken, that's the mission his mom was on, but she got killed. So looking through the photos, because his sister would like draw stuff that was the stories and stuff the mom would tell them, there's a drawing of the tower, and Tabitha ends up telling Jade that since she's been here, she's been having dreams about those steps and it being the tower. And it made me think about season 1. Remember when Tabitha was in, I want to say, was she in the basement of their house? And I want to say this was when she first started digging that hole, but she saw these stairs and we kind of didn't know what was leading or what that vision was. So that must be in relation to what they're talking about now with this whole save the cheerleader, save the world, save the kids, we get free. And she pretty much tells him, I thought the kids were trying to scare me, but now I think that maybe they were just asking for my help. And we end up cutting to the living room with Kenny's mom, Victor, Julie, and Ethan. And Kenny's mom comes in trying to like boost morale, like let's play a game, like we up all night, we can't sleep. And this is when, baby, little Ethan has not been a problem for 2 seasons, and all of a sudden they want to make this little kid very unlikable. So Ethan started just going into, is dad gonna die? Are we gonna die? And I didn't like Julie's response. She's just like, oh no one's gonna die, I want to be just fine. Like, don't lie to the kid. Like, we hope we're gonna be okay. Some people will die. That's just the situation we in. But for right now, if we just stay awake, we'll be okay, and we'll work on tomorrow when tomorrow come. Like, I don't know, say something that ain't a damn lie. But Ethan ends up going into, and I get it, he a kid, he's scared, but I didn't like his attitude in this scene. But Ethan goes into, okay, well, everybody died when Victor was little. But Victor pretty much tells him, oh, that's not going to happen again. But Ethan is like, well, how the hell you know? And this also made me think about my theory I already had. I don't know if it was season 1 or sometime this season. But when I said, like, what if Ethan becomes the new Victor? Like, everybody dies and Ethan is the only one left. Because I feel like nothing still hasn't come of the 2 cars. In season 1, Victor said there hadn't been 2 cars that came on the same day since he was little and everybody died. Like, 2 cars came and something terrible happened. Well, we had 2 cars come now, but nothing terrible has happened just yet. So I'm wondering if that's still just yet to come. But anyway, Victor ends up trying to comfort Ethan and telling him, because Julie goes into the Kramanakle and what does she do when she gets scared? But Ethan got an attitude like, man, that ain't real. Like, that don't matter. So Victor tries to also comfort him like, well, you know what? My mama used to tell me that everything is a story. Because Ethan was like, oh, that's just a story. And Victor is like, my mom used to tell me everything is a story, and we have the control to decide how it ends. And that's when this little children of the damn ass kid gonna look at Victor, I'm talking about with the straightest face and in the calmest voice. Well, did your mama, how your mama start end? Did it end how she wanted it to? I'm talking about, see, this is why sometimes you need to smack people in the mouth. Like, I ain't saying hit the kids, but child, he went too far with that. He went way the hell too far. Now, just 1 episode ago, you was begging Victor to be your friend again. Now you disrespecting his dead mama when all he trying to do is comfort you. Child, don't be like your daddy, okay? Do not get on the hate list with your daddy. But I was just watching this like, why the hell they making this little boy so unlikable? unlikable. It's a way to portray that the kid is scared without making him a complete asshole to everybody around him that's just trying to help him. Now, we then end up cutting back to the RV where we see Boyd trying to taking this little droplet thing to put the bow on the bullets. And this, I don't know, man. I get you can like dip an arrow in poison, but this really feels like the dumbest idea. Not only just trying to put the logistics of like, I'm gonna put a drop of something poisonous, because poisonous to the monsters on this bullet and shoot it through a gun, but also the fact of, what if it's a certain amount? Like, he literally got a little dropper. What if that's not enough? I don't know. This just really feels like I would have them bullets motherfucking dripping in that bow. Like, if this the route we going, the whole gun need to be just, I don't know, like, bow need to be seeping up out that mug. But Boyd wants to just go out and test the theory of the bullets. And Donna is like, well, why don't you give the gun to Randall? Let him go out there since he don't believe none of this is real. And I'm all for just toss that nigga up out the RV. But I feel like it was really stupid to be like, let's give him a gun. How do we know he ain't finna just shoot us? Baby, he just tied you to a tree for you to die by the monsters. I don't know. I was just like, I'm all for sending him out there. But we ain't giving him no gun. Now, Boyd does end up like reaching to hand Randall the gun, and I kind of feel like the facial expression that Randall had in this scene, I feel like he looked scared. Like, I feel like he know this issue's real, but he in such denial that he won't accept that it's real. But you was looking a little too scared in the face for somebody that don't believe this is real. Now, we end up having Donna at the front of the RV, Jim at the back of the RV, both looking through windows, and we see like the monsters are nearing the RV, right? And Boyd is pretty much telling Randall, okay, it's now or never. Are you gonna do it? And as Jim and Donna are looking out the window, they pretty much are like, wait, what the hell going on? And Boyd is like, what? The monsters just stopped. Like, they just literally just stopped. And Donna is like, they don't do that. They don't just stop. And Randall sitting here like, nigga, y'all niggas is really crazy. Like, bruh, he on another planet. Randall ain't in this situation with us. He also else. And he just sitting here like, you know what, y'all are really crazy. And this is when we hear the music box starting to play. And Boyd kind of checked his skin, because remember, the only time Boyd heard that music box was when he had those worms in him. And he kind of looking shocked because everybody else hears the music as well. And remember, Boyd first heard it when the worms was in him. He only kept hearing it with the worms, hasn't heard it since, and other people did not hear what he was hearing when all that stuff was happening. Now, they end up cutting back to Colony House with Christy, which was irking me. I was way more interested in the ish that was going down at the RV and way less interested in Christy and her fiance. I'm never interested in Christy and her damn fiance, whose name is Marielle. But I don't ever even feel the need to say the girl name because she is so insignificant. But Christy gets back to the room because remember, she had to go get supplies. Her fiance is flipping out, throwing stuff, trying to get out the window. And I'm sitting here like, you dumbass girl, Christy. The girl is losing it. She out of her mind. You don't leave somebody like that alone, especially in a situation like this. And Christy's whole attitude since her fiance came is bugging me really bad, because we got bigger fish to fry. We got stuff to really be worried about. This ain't a normal old situation where old girl going through withdrawals. I feel like, man, strap that girl to the bed and go on and be taking care of something. But the fiance ends up going on this melodramatic rant. It's your fault. You did this. You disappeared. And I want to be like, bitch, I ain't disappeared. I got motherfucking kidnapped by like some supernatural entity or whatever the hell that put me here. Talking about you disappeared as if I just hopped the fence and left. That just and I get it. She out her mind, her brain boiling, whatever the hell. But she ends up going off on Chrissy saying it's her fault, and I think she threw something at her. But the fiance ends up apologizing because of course she going through it. She losing her mind, and she goes to tell Christy that they need to strap her down. And Christy like, oh no, we don't need to do that. And I wanted to smack her in the face like, When you walked in the room, the girl was trying to get out the window. What if you had not walked in at that moment? And then when you walked in, the girl was yelling about something in the room and you ain't seen not a damn thing in here. That sounds like somebody that's a danger to themselves and everybody else, given the situation that we're in. And if she herself is telling you she need to be mother freaking strapped in, baby, it must be something she know that you don't know. So just strap her the fuck in. It was just, I feel like Chrissy been here too long to be making stupid decisions like this. Oh no, you don't need to be strapped in. Yes, she do. Now, we end up cutting back to Sarah and Kenny again. And Sarah is still going on trying to apologize, talking about if she could go back, she would change it. And that, because she starts with some small talk, looking at the map, saying like, oh, that must be the pin from where I'm from. Where did you and your parents come? And your mom would always say she was glad that you guys were all together when this happened. And it feels like it's quiet and maybe she trying to just fill the void. I don't know why the hell Sarah ain't just sitting there quiet. I don't know why she was just talking. But Sarah ends up going into how they were like family, and she mentions the dad, not even really like talking about the man dad, but just talking in general about how, you know, the family and her were before all this happened. And Kenny just flipped out, don't motherfucking talk about my daddy. And he freaking like throw a chair. And I actually like this part. Sarah was like, no, don't tell me not to talk about your daddy. You act like you're the only person that done lost something. And I did appreciate her saying that. But on the flip side, baby, you did kill his daddy. Like, imagine like being in a room with somebody that killed your parent. Like, that is crazy. Even though he getting on my nerve, but I did agree with her being like, you act like you the only person that lost something. And she ends up going into like, I lost everything. She lost her brother. She lost the only person she ever cared about in this life, which she says. She's like, she lost who she was, who she can ever be. And she goes into, I don't want to be here no more. I don't want to be a monster no more. I just want all this to be over. Do you think he felt any little bit of sympathy or felt anything after her speech? Hell no, the bitch killed his daddy. So he pretty much go, oh, you want it to be over? You want it out? Well, boy, keep a gun in that drawer over there to the left. Why don't you just do something? He walk about the room. And this is when they cut to Colony House, and I told y'all Reggie, over panicking ass, was flipping out. He was acting hysterical like Kenny was a few episodes ago when we wanted to take that monster into the house. But y'all, when I tell you, this scene was unintentionally so hilarious. So Reggie running through Colony House, he ringing his bell, he shaking people. The talisman won't help you. We're all gonna die. And he like grabbed this one guy. You can't sleep. And I'm saying like, nigga, I'm just trying to eat a motherfucking nectarine. Like, he was in there eating a peach or a nectarine or something. And Reggie just grabbed him. I'm like, bruh, calm the hell down. But he running through like screaming, the talisman won't protect you. We all gonna die. And Fatima come over trying to get him to calm the hell down. And that's when Ellis also comes over and he get his, let me tell you, child, Reggie ended up throwing this boy like a rag doll. I'm gonna need Ellis to stop trying to jump in. Every time Ellis come in Colony House trying to break some ish up or calm some ish down, the little boy get hurt. He need to just step the hell aside. So when he get tossed over, that's when Elgin comes over and kind of strong arms Reggie, gets his arms down and is holding him, and he's still just, we're all gonna die. And Fatima trying to tell him like, calm down. I get it. Your woman is dead. This was traumatic. It was horrible. But can you stop scaring these people yelling about we all gonna motherfucking die? Which, you know, they very well likely may. But let's not say that out loud to folks. Reggie is just like, it may today, tomorrow, Christmas time, baby, someday, somewhere, somehow, we all gonna die. And they end up having Elgin like take him out of there from around everybody else. Was, child, do we still have that guy locked up that stabbed Ellis? If he's still locked up, we need to put both of them two together. That's gonna be the little jailhouse room, because Reggie was losing it. And I don't like stuff like this. This is why I never liked the idea of living at Colony House, because I got too many folk to be worried about letting monsters in here. Because the way he flipping out, how we know he ain't gonna just be like, well, everybody gonna die, so let's just end this ish now and get us all killed. Now, they end up cutting back to the RV, and the music from that, the music box music is playing from like this little like radio thing, but it's all broken up, and Randall just can't understand how music is coming from it when it's like in pieces. And Jim is looking out because the monster just stopped walking, and he's like, what are they waiting for? Because they literally start walking towards RV and they just stop. Like, they're all just standing out there, and Boyd starts to try to get out because he want to go ahead and start his experiment, use the bullets, and Donna trying to stop him, but Boyd is like, I've heard this music before, and when it stops, bad shit happens. And I kind of feeling like, unless I'm forgetting something, baby, that music done stopped a lot and bad shit did not happen. Like, when you first heard the music, when you was trying to get old Boyd down, the music stopped and you just got out of there and you ran into Victor and Tabitha. Like, nothing bad really happened. But as he's saying this, the music suddenly stops and they start hearing banging from under their feet. Now remember, this don't really make sense because the RV like fell over, so we're in this toppled over RV and nothing could be banging under us. And Jim even says that like there's no space under there, nothing could be down there like banging. And again, him and Randall got a problem not believing what is right in front of them. What do you mean? Like, oh, nothing could be down there. There's no space. Baby, the place is supernatural. If the place want to bang, it's gonna bang. And Boyd is still getting ready to go outside, and he tells them whatever happens, just be ready to goddamn run. The lights start flickering in the RV, and that's when Randall was like, man, F this. And he grabs something, look like some kind of tool, and he breaks the window out the back of the RV, and he just jump out and motherfucking run. The nigga that say this ain't real, break out and run. But I thought it wasn't real. So what you scared of? What you running for? Like, if this not real and it's animatronics and the people that got killed really ain't dead, why are you running? So Boyd ends up getting Donna and Jim out of the RV, and he tells Jim, if you ever want to see your family again, get that van started. Because Jim made mention of being able to start the van even without the keys, because remember he does like the roller coaster rides, and he good with all that little electronics and stuff. And Boyd is at like the entryway to the van where the broken window is, shooting the monsters with his bow bullets. And that's when he hit his wife behind him. And I was so irked that he stopped shooting the monsters to turn around and look at her for a good like 5 minutes. Well, I'm exaggerating, it wasn't 5 minutes, but he stopped to look at her for way too long in a life or death situation when we got motherfucking monsters out there. And I'm saying like, Boyd, you know your wife dead. You know this isn't real. Why are you stopping? And it don't look like the bullets worked because the monsters did not drop. And that's when Boyd hears Donna calling his name, and he looks away from the wife, looks back, she done disappeared. And these monsters sure move slow as hell. Because all that time, they still went nowhere near Boyd, and he's able to just, get out, get to the van. Now, then we end up seeing Randall running in the woods, and all I could think was, if y'all don't just go ahead and kill this young man, and they did. They end up having the cicadas attack him. He trips and falls, which I never understand why when people trip and fall in these situations, they don't just get the hell back up. Like, his ankle wasn't broke, his kneecap wasn't busted. You could have got the hell up, but the cicadas all get all over him and accumulate all over him and crawl in his mouth, and he dies. And good riddance to Randall. Now, I found it crazy that when he got attacked, he out there yelling, "Help me." Are you crazy? You tied Donna to a tree. You got all up in Boyd's face. Who the hell is you calling for help from? But they end up cutting to Kenny and Sarah. And Kenny walks back into the room where she's at, and she's sitting at the desk with the gun. And he tell her, like, put that away. And Sarah's pretty much like, wow, this is what everybody wants, ain't it? And she goes into, you are the one that said I belong in the box. And he's like, that's different. But I agree with Sarah when she was like, how? The point is, you think I should be dead. So whether it's in the box or not, why does it matter? But Sarah pretty much goes into, okay, if I'm in the box, then you're not responsible for killing me. This place is. So I don't want to cause you no more pain. Let's just say I'm in the box. And she goes to say, let's just let this place decide. And she put 2 bullets in the gun to play Russian roulette, child. And I really thought Sarah was finna die. And I felt like that. I just really thought she was finna die. And he was going to end up like feeling guilt. But y'all, I wonder if this place is why she didn't die. Because she pulls the trigger twice. And he's able to take the gun. And it reminded me of one of those Final Destination movies with Kyle from Living Single, when he's like, I decide. And he's shooting the gun and it don't go off. And come to find out, the gun is full of bullets, but nothing came out because it wasn't Death's plan. So is this place the reason why she didn't get shot, or was it just luck of the draw, Russian roulette type thing? But he take the gun and he like, what is wrong with you? What you mean, what's wrong with her? You just told her where the gun was and for her to just go ahead and just end it. And now that she take the gun to do what you just told her to take the gun and do, it's what's wrong with you? What the fuck you think wrong with her? But I do feel like I've been taking Sarah's side a lot, but honestly, she did kill this man's dad. And that is not nothing to just shrug your shoulders and get over. But I do feel like Sarah is genuinely remorseful. Like, her guilty conscience is really eating at her. Her guilty conscience is doing more punishment to her than just throwing her in the box. Just throwing her in the box will be a quick punishment. It'll be over. But she really is suffering. Like, she got a real bad guilty conscience. Now, they end up cutting back to Colony House. Y'all, I feel like it's been way too suspect with them trying to make like this old lady know stuff and keep popping up and being real weird. I feel like they, from the beginning, they wanted us to be looking at her crazy. But now I'm looking at her crazy. And it's probably still all a ploy. The old lady probably just a crazy batshit old lady. But why Fatima come over to see if Elgin and the old lady from the bus is okay? Y'all, what's that old lady name? But she talking about how he trying to teach her to crochet or whatever. But the old lady ended up telling Fatima, oh, you're doing a good job. You're going to be a great mom. Baby, Elgin sitting there like, wait, you pregnant? And I'm sitting here like, yeah, that's a good lady. How do you, nobody knows. How the hell you know she pregnant? And the old lady spins some tale about, oh, I had 10 kids, 12 grandkids, whatever the hell I could tell and expect their mother. Nah. Yeah, you be having women who be like, they know somebody pregnant, but typically it's because the woman like eats a certain thing, doesn't like a certain smell, and it's something that most people don't pay attention to, but the person that has been pregnant can peep like, oh, those are signs of pregnancy. But baby, Fatima ain't showing no type of signs of nothing. It don't make no logical sense for this old lady to know she pregnant. That just threw me for a loop. And I just feel like they've been trying real hard to throw her in like a red herring, like, oh, especially when they was talking about the whole it's a mole here. It just felt like from the beginning they've been wanting us to be suspect of that old lady, but now I'm suspect of that old lady, because how the mother freaking hell she know this girl pregnant? Now all the other stuff she knew about things that happened before she came in town, that could easily be explained, because a small town anywhere is a small town anywhere, and people run their mouth and gossip. So it is very plausible that she heard about Boy going off into the forest and all the stuff she knew. But baby, ain't no way in hell that she knew that Fatima was pregnant when don't nobody know except Fatima, her fiance, Donna, and Christy. Literally, that's the only people know she. Ain't no way. It ain't no way. Now, as soon as Elgin finds out that Fatima is pregnant, that's when all of a sudden he's like, I think I just remembered my dream. And I'm very confused. Even once he tells us a dream, I'm sitting here like, baby, how finding out she was pregnant sparked your recollection of the dream? Like that 1 + 1 was not adding up to 2 for me. But they end up cutting to Christy and her fiance, and the fiance strapped down in the bed, start talking about she thirsty. So Christy decides to yet again leave her alone. Y'all, why you didn't think that somebody going through withdrawals and sweating and itch could get thirsty? Why we ain't already have some water or juice or something by the nightstand? Like, why did we not already get prepared? When you left her alone the first time to get supplies, why supplies are not equal getting some damn water for her to drink? It just irked my nerves that she would leave this girl in here alone yet again. I feel like if somebody is going through what her fiance is going through, they could end up hitting exhaustion, falling asleep, dozing off. We not supposed to go to sleep. We don't need to leave nobody alone. Every move Christy been making just been irking me, and I just feel like as time goes by, the people in this town just get dumber and dumber and dumber. Now, just as Elgin was remembering his dream, the van pulled up outside, right? And that's when we have Donna and Boyd pull up with Jim. But once okay, let's not get there yet. Let's finish with the fiance. The fiance is left in the room by herself, and as soon as she's alone, she hears this scratching sound, and that's when she looks over to the window, and the cicadas somehow get in through the window. Even though the windows are shut and boarded up, the cicadas get in, and they start getting all over her just like they did Randall out in the forest. And Christy comes in to find the girl yelling, telling like, get him off me, get him off me. Christy don't see nothing. So to me, it would stand to reason that the fiance is asleep. Like if something is crawling all over you that nobody can see, I would think she fell asleep. So I'm not really clear on this, but this is yet another time that the bus driver was getting on my goddamn nerves. Donna and Boyd is downstairs. Of course, everybody is in his stairs acting crazy. And the bus driver asks yet again, how long we got to stay awake? Child, don't put me in charge. Don't put me in charge. Don't make me the leader or nothing. Because I'd have been like, bitch, go to sleep. Like, how long you got to stay awake? You ain't got to do nothing. You ain't got to do nothing, ma'am. If you want to go to sleep, go ahead. Take your chances. I'm trying to keep y'all ass alive. And I'm telling y'all, stay awake. That just irked me so bad that she just keeps saying, how long we got to stay awake? You ain't got to do nothing. You ain't got to do nothing, sweetheart. And then some random colony house person was like, why is this happening? How are we supposed to know? Like, why are y'all asking us Looney Tune questions? How the hell? Y'all know what we know. And Donna's trying to tell them, like, I know y'all scared. We got to just calm down. We trying to figure this out. Now, while all this commotion is happening, Jim suddenly gets an attitude, decide he got to get the hell up out of the house because I got to get to my family. Which he also said in the RV. Y'all, they just make Jim do the dumbest shit. Okay, now your whole plan was to spend the night in the RV with Randall. You weren't concerned with I need to get to my family when you was planning to spend the night in the RV with Randall. But the second that him and Randall and Donna and Boyd get in the RV, he started yelling, but I got to get to my family. And the second we get to Colony House is I got to get to my family. You was not thinking about you had to get to your family when you was planning to spend the damn night at the RV with Randall. So just stay ass here because your whole plan in the beginning was to spend the damn night away from your family. Y'all, this pissed me off so bad. So he trying to push past the guy at the door who of course ain't letting him by. And Jim got the nerve to look genuinely shocked when old boy pushes him and him and Boyd pulls the gun on Jim. Like he looking shocked. Like, y'all, I need them to kill Jim. Like, they not gonna kill Jim, but I need them to kill Jim. Like, Jim is so motherfucking stupid. Now, just as all this is happening, then we hear Christy screaming for help. So Boyd got to go run up and deal with that. And that's also what pissed me off about Jim doing this. Like, Jim, we got enough to deal with right now. We dealing with a whole house full of people that's freaking losing their mind and scared. We got enough going on. Niggas can't sleep. And you got to make a whole nother commotion. So Boyd ends up running upstairs where Chrissy is at with the fiance. And now the fiance, like, eyes look weird. Maybe done rolled in her head or something. And she still like, you know. And y'all, why is Christy telling Boyd do something? I'm saying, like, do something, bitch, you the freaking tripped me out. And Boyd is just telling her to like calm down. Like, she don't need a fiance right now. She needs a doctor. So just do your job. Now, as he trying to deal with this, some little looky-loos come over to peep up in the room, and he telling them, get the f out. Donna comes over, get them out. Baby, we trying to deal with all this mess. And that's when Ellis come in trying to get his dad. And the dad is just like, hold on. I'm just like, damn, y'all pulling Boyd from every direction. But the son is just like, no, I think you need to hear this. And it was really reminiscent for me of when Boyd went out and found them talisman and his son was trying to get him not to leave. Like, Boyd be so busy trying to take care of everything. But I'm like, Boyd, hold on now. Your son telling you like, come on. But Donna is like, you know, tell Boyd to go ahead, you go. And she stay up here with Christy. And this is when we get down to where it's Elgin, Fatima, and the bus driver. And I was kind of saying, like, bitch, what is you doing over here? You been up, all you been worried about is when the fuck can you go to sleep? Like, why the fuck is you here? That was irking me. Now, Elgin ends up telling them that I knew it was something I was supposed to remember when I had that dream on the bus, but it wasn't until I found out Fatima was pregnant. Like, baby, Boyd ain't know. Boyd ain't know he was about to have a grandchild, but he ends up continuing the story, and he's like, there was a boy dressed in white. So he saw the boy in white that Victor and Ethan had seen, and the boy in white kept saying, they come for 3 unless you stop the melody. And that's when the bus driver's like, wait, I know that. It's an old nursery rhyme. My grandma used to sing it. And she started singing, they touch, they break, they steal. No one here is free. They come for 3 unless you stop the melody. And Boyd looking crazy because that's a piece of what Reggie's old girl was saying when she was getting killed in her sleep. Now, they cut to Jade and Tabitha, and Jade is thinking Tabitha is crazy, but Tabitha is like, you the one said everything here is connected. What if Victor's mom was right and that saving those kids is how we get home? And just as they're having this conversation, we hear Julie screaming. And Julie is clawing all over herself, seemingly in the same situation of having those cicadas crawling all over her. Now, I'm confused on exactly what is supposed to be happening, because you could say that the fiance fell asleep, but it ain't no way that Julie and Randall was asleep. Julie in the living room in the middle, you know, with everything going on there. Randall was running in the woods. They were not asleep. So why do they see these cicadas all over them when don't nobody else see it? And also the they come in 3 thing, of course, we can equate to Randall, Julie, Marielle. But we have heard that music play before. We have heard it stop. Nothing came for 3 people. All those other times the music stopped. So why now? But yeah, this episode finally got good. And you know what? Maybe we got a little lazy sliver of an answer to some stuff. Maybe we can say that some stuff has been the manifestation of people's dreams, even down to the visions that Jade and Tabitha have been having. Because Jade, remember, had a vision in season 1 of the Civil War soldiers that never went nowhere. But Victor's little sister has a drawing of Civil War soldiers. So I guess that's how they finna lazily connect certain stuff. But we got one more episode, and I really hope it's going to be a good one. I enjoyed this episode. I thought it was done well. So hopefully we can get a good final episode. I think it's only one more, because this was 9. I think it's only 10 altogether. Thank you so much for watching this video, for supporting the channel. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.